Hello everyone, and welcome back to FoolCraft. I can tell you that I've never been this excited to hit the record button in a long time. Because look at this amazing little build that we put together right here. No, I'll be trolling you. This is some temporary stuff right here, okay? We're setting up a little temporary outpost because I have found the location for our base. We're in the middle of a ginormous desert biome, and the project that I have installed is going to be fantastic because I've actually done this before, way back in the past. For those of you that remember Season 2 of Hermitcraft, you will know that in vanilla Minecraft I painstakingly spent a long time mining out an entire desert biome like the one that we're in right now, just to convert it into a wastelands biome. That is where we simply leave all of the stone left behind underneath the sand, which creates a really cool formation. And we're going to do it again on FoolCraft, and this is why I'm ever so excited, because this is going to be amazing. Now, if you saw Season 2 of Hermitcraft and you're excited to see the Wastelands come back, let me know with a comment, and if you're enjoying this series, leave a like, show some support for this project. I'm going to tell you all about it in a moment, but if you like what you hear, you know, help me out, leave some encouragement, and well, this will just become a more fantastic project. I mean, I don't need much inspiration right now. I've got so much inspiration I don't know what to do with it. In fact, I do know what to do with it. I need to play Minecraft. But over here, I can give you an example of what the Wastelands will end up looking like, because we made a little bit of it already, and I put together some Illuminite tools over here. And because they're made of Illuminite, it means that we can send the items we mine back to our storage system or whatever chest we link it to. So I'm going to link these two to this one for now. And I got a really cool idea, which is that we take all of the sand and sandstone that we get from making the wastelands and we link it to a separate storage system, okay? And that means that one day we'll be able to look at this finished project and go, wow, we mined millions of blocks. But this isn't vanilla Minecraft. Oh no, and this is why I'm so excited, because this tedious kind of project, I could never do it again. I did it once, that's enough for me, but we got Vein Miner. And that thing just leveled up twice. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, and then we do the same thing again, but with a pick. This one's actually linked to a chest, I believe. Let's link it to this one here then. I linked the axe, didn't I? I don't think I needed to make an axe for this project, but I made one. Anyway, we link it to that chest, and then we vein mine. Oh, and it went over there as well. Of course it would do, because it goes under the sand. That's so cool. And we get XP by doing this, which is a lot of fun. And then we're left with this rocky formation, and that is what the Wastelands is all about, the rocky formation that'll be left behind. We're not really going to change this. There may be some occasions where, I don't know, maybe it gets a little bit flat, like underneath a river, and we change it. But that is the Wastelands project, and what I think I'm going to do is do a lot of this off camera. So as we do our various projects and have fun in these episodes, you'll just see this thing steadily expand, and we'll keep all of the blocks so we can count them at the end. But you're probably wondering, how big is this desert? It is very big. It is bigger than the one that I did before, and the idea is to go to all sides of the desert, and so there'll be no sand or sandstone left when we're done. It's a crazy project, I know. So this is the center of it, or at least this is my guesstimation of where the center is. If I press J to open up the journey map, you shall see that it is kind of near the center-ish. I'm not sure, but we are going to rip out the sand and sandstone of this entire area, and that includes where it sneaks up into that space through there. What it doesn't include is this little bit over there. I think I might just replace the sand on that side with grass, so the river becomes a natural barrier. But it will leave us with a bit of a scar leading up to the edge of the landscapes, and I'm not sure what I want to do about that. We might do a little bit of terraforming around the edge, but that is the idea, man. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you saw Season 2 of Hermitcraft, I really want to hear from you as well, because we'll be able to do the same thing but a lot faster, and then it means that we can have a great time building a base in here. So our base for this season will mostly be underground. We are going to build some sort of monument in the center like Season 2, but what we're not going to do is build another pyramid. This will be a very different build, and then we're going to have all sorts of things linked underground in a very interesting way. So give me a moment here. I'm going to go chop down some trees, do some preparations, and prepare to show you how our underground base system will work this season. So I've had this really interesting idea on how to get around our base, as a while back on Hermit Pack I learned about this block. It is the travel anchor from Ender.io. It's pretty cheap to make, and once you made it, it doesn't even require any power. You can stand on this thing and you can see other places that you can teleport to, then you hold down shift to go there. And I think that's a really cool way of getting around our potential base. But as you'll see right here, we can see this sand chest down below, but we can also see the center. When we're over there though, we can't see the sand chest. So this thing has a range on it, but I think that range could make it interesting, as I reckon rather than having corridors and things to walk through in our base, we'll just use these teleporters, and then what we'll have is intermittent teleporting stations. But then they'll just teleport to a unique room that will be hidden down underground, and we don't have to worry about corridors leading from one place to other, spacing things out so they're not next to one another, because we can just instantly, bam, teleport like that. So this is the sand chest, and that is a 9x9 chest right there. That cost a lot of resources, about 9 stacks of wood to make this, and we're going to link this thing to it. And I think we have to click on the specific block. Yikes, that is actually underneath it in the very center, so hopefully we can get down there. But this is where we're going to store all of our sand for now, and eventually we'll probably hook this into a refined storage system. Okay, the two of those, I don't need to link the axe, do I? But I'm going to link these things. I think what I'm going to do is make another one of these that is specifically for mining the desert, so I don't get confused with this one, and this can be linked to something different. But now whenever we mine sand and sandstone, we're going to make sure that it ends up in this chest down here. So we will build another little area like this with another giant chest to store everything else that we've got. So we're going to end up with 2 storage rooms. But you can see that I've just dug out the area around it using vein miner, nice and quick and simple. But eventually what we can do is come here and decorate this room and make it look really cool. And then our mode of transport between these places when we need to visit them is just holding down shift like that, which is extremely cool. Now if you're playing FoolCraft, I need to share some information with you, because you might be wondering how big can these chests go. Well, it turns out that the configuration file for the mod allows you to set it to whatever you like, and in FoolCraft it is 20. So you can make a 20 by 20 by 20 ginormous chest, and that is absolutely absurd. Remember this setup? Well, it's been moved. I've actually spent some time moving things around at the moment, and one of them is this, because we would like to take this drum, which should be full now. Yeah, that went by really quickly. It must have been about 3 minutes and it got filled up. And if we put this one back, I think this one is also pretty much full. There you go. So I made another shape cut. Well, I didn't make another one. I set it to some new coordinates, and we filled in all of this over here, and then all of this as well. And I didn't realize just how far this spread out, but it was amazing to see all the dirt appear because it did it so quickly. Look at that, and there is a ginormous lava lake here. So where we are right now is underneath our nether portal, which is properly synchronized with the place in the overworld. So we've got our nether portal sorted out. We can now head over here and get loads of lava. It's pretty crazy. And this thing has still got loads of juice in it because it stores tons and tons of energy. And I'll tell you what else I need to do. I want to make a few more upgrades to this thing. I also want to put that RF energy cube that we got in front of it. Anyway, it's about, I think about 50 blocks all the way up to the top here. And then we have our nether portal. So we're going to use this sucker to fire up a magmatic generator that we got over here. Actually, we probably want to do that through the Ender IO tank. So that's going to pull in the stuff from the top, push it out to the side, and then that powers our controller for a refined storage system, which is now what we're going to be doing. That being said, oh, I guess this thing's just slow, right? That might not be enough to keep it powered for what we want. I really don't know. We'll probably need some speed upgrades over here as well, as the next step is to start making the things for refined storage, but we're going to hook refined storage into the chests that we have just created. So our sand chest will probably be left out of the system. In fact, I'll probably set up a second one and have it on its own independent system. And I've actually emptied this of other stuff that got into there, and we made another one of the same size over here, which I think I showed you a moment ago, but now I've sort of finished this area. Very temporary stuff, and I put a few items into it as well. So what we want to do is get an external storage unit on the top of that thing. It looks so weird when it opens. That's gonna, oh, now it's stuck open. Okay, well that's a glitch. Let's try and get it to close. No, it just wants to stay open now. Look, it closes. Oh, that's cool. This little space here is a bit ugly, by the way, and even though this is like temporary, I think I'm going to expand this area so that our refined storage stuff is a little nicer to interface with. And what we're going to do to get going here is just create a crafting grid so we can craft stuff out of our storage and pull up items. And then we want to make an external storage, one of those, and that means we've also got to make a network transmitter and receiver. And just looking at the recipes here, I don't think this is going to be too expensive. I've been going into the nether, gathering lots of quartz, and the other thing we would then need is a network card. And you know what? All of that looks very doable, so I think it won't take me long at all to get this set up. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Blitz. I love the sounds this thing makes. Oh, they're so cool. I've turned up my sound for this. It's sort of robotic and creepy, and I was thinking, what if we captured these and put them in our base underground? That would make the perfect kind of setting with the sound. Oh, I just love it. And it does it pretty consistently when you hang out next to this guy. In fact, he's doing quite a lot of damage to me. I should probably eat. So this is the Blitz, and it appears to spawn in this desert. I've seen quite a few of them now. This will probably be the 6th or 7th that I've killed in this area. I was just hanging out in the base, and he kind of wandered over and started making those sounds again. That's a really cool idea. We've got some really great ideas coming together for this base. And also this energy cell, by the way, I was just about to pick it up and slap it down next to this thing, but I figured what we should probably do is create a little power room and then get a cable running through the different areas so that multiple things can use the power that we're generating, and then we could have a line of machines and something like that going on. So I just made an interesting mistake here. My buddy Iskal has just given me a stack of gold, which is really helpful at the moment as I've run out of all of mine, and we need some to get refined storage going. Now I made some speed upgrades, and they didn't seem to make a difference with each one, and it was going along like this, and I was thinking, man, that's really slow. What is going on here? Because this thing keeps on getting drained, and what we're actually doing is pushing energy from there into this thing while it's being pulled out by a refined storage system, which kind of like throttles the system and means that this thing will keep it running very, very slow. So if we set that to pull, it then sucks out all of this energy, and this thing actually runs at the proper speed then. So now this number is going up, and that means we are producing enough energy to power this thing as well. Because, by the way, there is a cable around the back here. I'm not sure if you can really see it. If we stand here, you can see it. It's all ready to go into that area over there and power some machines as well. So actually what I can probably do now is take out the speed upgrades and then monitor this thing and see what's happening with the number. So that's still going up, which means without any of these upgrades in, it's still going fast enough. So there's no reason for me to use the grid power and to use these upgrades at the moment. Alright, this is really cool. So I've made the transmitter and the crafting grid, and I've added that to the system, and it's jumped from 12 to 66 iris per tick. We've got to add our network receiver and add our network card as well. But if we look over at this thing, we can visibly see the number going down, and this is a really good way of tracking what's going on in our system. So if we add a speed upgrade to this now, it may just be that that number starts to creep back up, which it is doing, and it will probably go down again in a moment. So the next step for us is to go down to this one, then jump to that one. We can't jump straight to that one over there because it's out of range, and this is where we might end up with little rooms which you simply use to jump to get between different places. So it's on the top of here. So there's our chest interface. There goes the external storage. We put the receiver on top. Man, this is so cool. We've linked that card, and now we should be able to go and hook it up to the system. Okay, so I want to check the power drain. It should be nothing at the moment, or nothing extra is what I mean. So 66, then we chuck in our network card, and it jumped 294. Oh, I guess the range of it costs a lot. Wow, that's actually quite pricey. I wish I'd have brought that a little bit closer now. Sorry, I wish I'd have rather built that a little bit closer. Wow, we are losing juice fast here. So we need to make more of those upgrades, which is where that gold from Iskal is going to come in handy. However, how many more do we need? We can put 20 in total in there. I might do that. We'd have to upgrade this thing over here. I think I'll put another 6 in for now, so we use the most of that, and see if that just tips us over the edge, because I'd really like to start using this. But check it out. We can see all of the materials that are inside our system, our giant chest now. That's really cool. And of course, once we've got this power situation sorted out, the next step will be to move all of these items into that, so we can simply just use the crafting grid, which makes life so much easier. This waste stone is now really in the way, because it's a waste stone, right? No, I need to move that somewhere else. But I've gone around and emptied all of those Hermitron cases. I've left behind a few things here, like machines and net, which have animals in them for farms, and some tools as well. But for the most part, everything has been moved into there. And by the way, check out this cute and adorable chap right here. Tiger Plushie. I got this from FoolCraft. And I reminded myself I need to keep a diamond pick in my inventory because this one is linked to our storage system. I got this out of a loot bag, and it's just sort of been laying down there on the ground for a while now, and I haven't really mentioned what it is. But yeah, Tiger Plushie, really cute and cool. So what else is there to talk about? I'm sure there was something else. Power's looking good. This thing is fully charged. Get out of here. Oh, he's set me on fire. And there's something that I want to go and look at. Let's go down to our main storage one over here. There we go. Okay, so if we look at this thing, it will tell us how many items this chest stores. Can you guess? Do you want to leave a comment with a guess? It's up to you. I have no idea. 1.2 million items we can store in there. Wow, that is crazy amount of items, but I wouldn't be surprised if at one time in the future we needed to upgrade this thing. So our next order of business is to say goodbye to this farm because we need to move it, and I know it's not the most exciting of things to do, but we're going to make it even better when we build it again. And to show you a flaw that this farm has, all you've got to do is look at the sides and realise that when the Endermen spawn, they can actually pick up the blocks on the edges next to where they spawn, which I think is just hilarious. So what we want to do, well, I should have brought some blocks with me. We're going to try and do this with just 4 blocks, which isn't very smart, but we're going to pick these up and put them inside of a Hermitron chest so we don't have these horrible effects when we want to move these spawners. And these are not the only spawners we've found, so when we rebuild this farm again we can put even more spawners onto it and do more interesting things. Now I can't jump, I sort of can. I guess I'm going to have to go down there and collect this thing after we break it, but we'll chuck those in there and then we'll no longer have the effects, and we want to pick up all of this stuff as well. Now, if I'd have used this pick, it would have actually zapped it back to our storage system elsewhere in the world, which is a pretty smart idea. So I'm going to use that for those items, but we can do that with this as well. Actually, yeah. Let's just. Oh no, it doesn't do it with the Hermitron. That's right. Okay. Anyway, now we can go all the way down to the bottom, pick up those items. Everything would have gone inside the giant chest, and at some point we need to transport all of the items that this thing has collected. And how to do that at the moment, I'm not sure, because it would just involve me running back and forth, or maybe using some of the Hermitrons to pick these things up, put the items in and move them over, but that would take a lot of time. And we also want to make an automatic loot bag opening system, so I'm not sure when it is I'm going to do that, but I'm definitely going to grab some more ender pearls and bones while I'm here. So let's take these things, and then let's grab some ender pearls, some bones, maybe some gunpowder as well. So we've got to pick a new location for this project, and I'm just having a moment of, let's not say regret, but just thinking I could have planned this out better. However, what I wanted to do with this system is make the planning thing not really matter, right? Like we can just throw these down and teleport between them nice and easy and it doesn't really matter. But what I'm thinking is that if the center of our base is there, then everything should be circular around it, so there are lots of options. So these ones are probably a little bit too far away and there'll need to be a jump to get to those things. So there'll be some sort of intermediate room between that one and the rest of the other things that we've got, because we're going to have a central room underneath our main base. So I think what I'll do is actually put the mob spawner, let's say, just over there somewhere. Although, I'm not sure if it really matters where we put it. In fact, it doesn't at all. Maybe somewhere where there's lots of caves, but how do I know? I do actually know that there's lots of caves around here because you've got lots of this going on, and you can see it coming up to the surface, and there's quite a lot of that in this area. So maybe actually over here. It doesn't really matter, does it? I just need to pick somewhere and build it. And yeah, because there's a lot of caves right here, I actually think coming out in this direction makes the most sense. So maybe somewhere underneath those palm trees. I also brought some legendary loot bags with me. I thought we might get something interesting in these. Didn't expect to get something like this. This augment is called resin fuel. Allows for fluids to be extracted from logs. Are those fluids going to be able to be converted into energy? We want to make an interesting energy farm this season. I don't want to rely on the lava. This is just something to get us going. And earlier when we used the foodstuffs, in fact, where did I put that machine? I've completely forgotten. Or did I lay it out down here? No, it must be in our storage somewhere. Aha, here it is, redstone furnace. So we put an augment into this and it made it very useful for making food. And there are other augments in this game as well. And I think what I'm going to go and do is have a look for each of these and see how they could be useful and interesting, as they certainly sound pretty cool, right? Dioritic subduction. Allows for the creation of diorite. Replaces the stone. Hey, that sounds like something we might need on this server. To get at Mr. Iskow 85, if you know what I'm talking about. Aha, we got another one. Flux linkage concentrator. Allows for rechargeable items to be charged very rapidly. Yeah, that might be useful later on. Not right now. And we've got one bag left. Another augment as well. Transmission coil deducting. This stuff sounds so fancy. I need to research that mod and find out more about it. It may have taken me an hour, and it may have filled up my inventory with rubbish, but we've dug a ginormous drop here, which was bigger than the last one that we did. I think that one was 4 blocks on each side. This is 6, and as you probably guessed, it's currently turned off. What we're going to do different at the bottom here is make some stone spikes covering the entire floor. So when the mobs fall down, if they don't die, they will take some damage. If they are Endermen and they don't die, they will teleport away. So in the future, we'll probably counteract that with some sort of other obelisk technology that can stop them doing all that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Also, I'm going to put on my obsidian armor because apparently my smelting armor had broken. And we're going to plop this thing down and just teleport. There it is, mob farm top. So we're going to have a little station up here where we'll be able to turn this thing on and off. At the moment, though, not sure what we can do really other than pillar out a little bit, hit the switch and then pillar back in. There's also a hole above there as well, which will be bad for spawning, but that'll get filled up. And what we're going to do is put the spawners, I think, underneath this time, just so they're a little easier to access and technically would have room for more. But it isn't the biggest to drop. From about here, it's 40 blocks. So it might not kill Enderman one hit. I don't know why, but I sort of picked out a lower spot. Oh, that's right, I can go to the outpost. Let's go straight to the outpost. I kind of picked a lower spot in the terrain. I don't know what I was thinking, really. Again, not thinking things through. Let's just zip over here a little bit. So I made a little bit of wastelands, picked a low spot, and then decided to go straight underneath it. That drop down is right there, which was kind of silly. It's also kind of close. In fact, we can use this to get all the way down to the bottom again. It's kind of close to the storage area we've got over to the side. So when I go to decorate that, we're going to be limited for space on one side. Okay, so outpost, mob farm top, center, sand chest. Storage doesn't appear. Okay, but when we're up here, it does. It's really odd. It's really odd how some can see ones and not the others. Like this one doesn't see the outpost yet. The one all the way down at the bottom does. So I believe we can actually see this if we just stand over here. That is the wall of the farm. So it only leaves us with a few blocks between this area and that area. So when it comes to decorating, I don't know what that's going to mean right now. Oh, check that out. Guess who just got a Nether Star from a loot bag? Now I'm thinking we can put that to good use before we kill a wither. What do you guys think is the best way to use the Nether Star? I know there's lots of uses in modded. I haven't really thought about this too much. I just hit record as soon as I saw that thing. I mean, a beacon sounds nice, but there's probably other cool things as well. So leave a comment down below if you've got a suggestion. That is tempting. An unbreakable wand would be very nice. But there are many uses, like I said, including a wither pet. It's probably a little bit early in the game to do this, but I've decided to make a pattern grid, and we've got 3 patterns as well, as I figured having the system craft this stuff for me might be a little bit easier. We need compressed cobble, we also need to make loads of stone swords as well. So if I can provide it with lots of sticks and cobble, which will be no problem at all, it will do the rest of the crafting, because we've got a crafter down here. However, this is obviously going to soak up a load of power. I clicked on the wrong thing. 299, wasn't it 326 before? Yes, that's actually gone down now, which is slightly strange. Maybe these machines were in use and I wasn't aware of that. So anyway, now we can make patterns over here in the pattern grid. We want to tick that thing, put these in over here, and we can automate the creation of these spikes. And if you've never seen this before, I'm kind of assuming many of you have been watching the Sky Factory series. You create the patterns, you put them inside the crafter, and the system will know how to make these things. So I'm going to chuck a load of sticks into there, and that should be it. So with a little bit of math, I've figured that we need 144 of these things. That's still not enough, is it? There we go. And now we can auto-craft them. So we do that, and we don't have a crafting monitor. So we can't actually see where it is in the process. Like if it runs out of cobble, it will be able to see that in the crafting monitor. But I guess we'll have to monitor it by just looking at those things. And you can see the numbers going down. So here is the underside of the farm. I don't think you really need to see the top side. All the stone spikes are in place. This thing has been sucking up items like a charm. And now what we got to do is run the item conduit all the way over to that chest. It has an interface at the very top of it. I'm not sure if you can just plug into the side, but I had a stack of these things. Don't know where the rest of them have gone. But we're going to use an item conduit, and that's probably not the best way to do things, right? But early on in the game, I don't think I got a better solution at this point. Don't be alarmed, I know I'm breaking the corner of this. And there goes all of our items in storage, you're thinking. But you actually keep them. And wow, okay, that's been replaced. We open up that, look at that. Everything is intact, which is really cool. And we can have an interface down here on the corner. So that's going to be set to insert. And now our farm is actually ready to be running. This has been taken from all the way down there at Bedrock all the way to over here, and it's ready to sap the items into our storage system. Okay, so what we could do is go to the top here and activate the switch, but what I also want to do is place the spawners underneath as well. Okay, here it is. We got our diamond chest transporters, and we're going to put these things into place. That should be directly in the middle. No idea what order we're placing them in, and please don't shoot me off. As I say that, I do remember though, this will be skeletons without bows. They don't spawn with them. Okay, so the effects are gone. We removed the temporary platform. And now if I AFK over here, then we're going to get tons of drops. Oh, and I forgot to hit the switch. Okay, can I get these stone bricks back? Oh, I'm going to be so silly sometimes. Yeah, we also want to turn on that farm as well, so we get creepers, skeletons, and zombies. And I haven't made any more soul vials to collect any more mobs, but I guess that's something we can do another time, because, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from me this episode. I will be on the server AFKing. We're going to get tons of amazing drops and make some more amazing progression here on the server. There go the creepers. That's right, we've got loads and loads of caves in this area, and I think I'd be wise to block off this hole. So if you enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like. As always, thank you for the support, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.